because you're right. It is such a matter of the heart, because there are certain things that you can require managers to do, but then there are other things that people are going to do not because they have to, be because they recognize a need. Like the fact that you were able to filter through and understand, you know, yes, you've created the space, but even when the space is created, even still saying, okay, I'm being mindful, right? Mindful leadership about what I'm sending to the team. You know, I had this conversation with my boss the other day, and, you know, feeling empowered as a parent, as a member of the team, as a manager, to say like, all right, I need this time to go take care of my kid. I am in a safe space to do that. But even sometimes I still have to battle this little guilt where I'm like, oh, but I have to go do this thing. And so if I feel that way in a very safe environment, how is someone going to feel in a toxic environment? How are they going to feel? And so, you know, it's one thing, like you said, HR told me to say, all right, if you need time, take time. But it's like, okay, so they're saying one thing, but their actions have showed me another thing leading up to this and even now. And so I think it's more than the open door policy saying you can come and talk to me. It's taking that initiative and meeting the person where they are and sharing and talking. And this kind of stuff, it does take more time. It does take more energy. But as a manager, as a leader, your first responsibility is your people. And a lot of managers and leaders have lost sight of that. They prioritize other things above their people. And so now when their people are hurting, now I hope they're trying to reconnect and establish something, but they also have to be mindful that that's going to take time, and you have to be willing to put in the work to do that. You don't just tell someone one time, you know, you're psychologically safe here. If you don't want to do this, don't do it. And then expect them to come to you. You have to demonstrate through words and actions that you mean what you say. And that's huge. You know, like did anyone have to come to you and say, Mike, I think that your employees might be going through some things, or you never know, you know, you should be mindful of no one had to come to you and tell you that.
That's right. That's right. You should know your team so well that you've been giving space. You've been having those one-on-ones that people feel comfortable talking to you, but they may not be ready to talk, and that's okay. But I'm just letting them know, like, I'm here. However you want to communicate, because I know during this time, like, some people don't want to be on video calls. It's just too much. And so, and I know for me, like, I'm very like, I like seeing people. Like, I love being on video calls, right? But I've had to like scale back and go like, because in the beginning I was like getting judgmental, like, oh, they never want to be on video calls. My initial reaction, the wrong reaction, was like, oh, they're not ready to engage. Like, that was my initial wrong reaction. But then as I started to really think about it, I'm like, wait a minute. Not everyone feels comfortable being on video. There could be a lot of things going on. They might not have a place to even do a video call from where they're living right now. And there are a lot of reasons why. They might not be emotionally ready to be on video for you. So I immediately changed my meeting notices. I was like, you come however you want to do it. And I said, if you can't make the call for whatever reason, you don't need to make the call. Like, just like send me a little note, text me, say, hey, Mike, can't make it today. All good. Like, everyone's going through their own thing right now. And part of empathy is like letting people connect with you however they want to during that period of time. And we shouldn't be offended that they don't want to meet us the way that we want to be met. And some of that is like, because with my team, like, we all understand each other. Like, we spent so much time together. So I'm very fortunate leading into the pandemic that we had a good relationship going in. It would be more difficult for just hiring somebody to kind of gain that trust, because they have to trust you too. Because when someone's first joining a company, it's like everyone's on their best behavior, right? It takes time to establish trust. It's like when you're dating somebody.
I was just going to say that.
Right?
You don't show them your true color.
Yeah.
You see what you're going to get, but I'm just like, you say those true colors, I'm going to give you a little sprinkle.
Yeah, that's right. And it takes time to establish trust. So managers going into the pandemic and also dealing with social unrest that had empathy, who cared, who've already created the safe spaces, like, they're good. Like, not that they have everything figured out. Of course they don't. But at least they have that relationship there.
Thank you so much for listening to this clip of the Data Talk podcast. To check out the full show or see the full catalog of previous episodes, go to Experian.com/Data Talk.